Yeah. Let's do this. I'm pretty excited to see what happens in this game. This is game one between ConfuseGamer and Un, and the reason I'm excited about this is because it's on pause. No, because it's a double Zerg ZVZ. I do like a bit of ZVZ. Down in the bottom here we have ConfuseGamer, the blue Zerg, and up in the top we have Un, the red Zerg, on this map, which is Dusk Towers. This Overlord is going somewhere. Who knows? He's going to fly over to the corner of the map and going to love it. ConfuseGamer going for the more traditional, send your Overlord toward the opponent early to have a look at what they're doing. Okay, as always, we've got the production tab up in the top left. ConfuseGamer building an Overlord. Un going Extractor first. Interesting. What's this guy doing? Are we going to see a hatch first? Are we? Well, we're not, because we've already got an Extractor, which is unusual. I'll give you that, Un. That's unusual. But it looks like this guy is waiting to build a hatch. Send him down there maybe a little bit early, but you know, no big problem. Let's see, is that what he's there for? Is he going to drop the hatch? He is. And what's this guy doing? Un, have you been watching programs? Are we about to see double hatch before spawning pool? Down here ConfuseGamer has gone for spawning pool first, so if he gets a sniff of this, he will definitely be able to put some hurt on with some early lings. Un, is that what you're doing? I still don't see a spawning pool. I think it is going to be double hatch before pool. Now that is a very, very greedy opening, but Un, do bear in mind that the standard form for doing this is that you continue to build workers the whole time, never not be building workers. If you just build workers constantly, you'll find that you'll have enough money, enough spare money besides building your workers to throw down a hatchery without having to pause worker production at somewhere about 15 supply anyway, and you'll get your third down at somewhere at about 18 supply without having to really break in worker production. These hatches will not be of benefit if you do not have the workers to complement them. So at present, even with this double hatch greedy economic opening, the spawning pool finally coming down there, I suspect if we check the income tab, we actually see that ConfuseGamer has the significant income advantage. Now, Un with the 3 hatches will have the potential to accelerate and overtake that, but there will be a lag, and there will definitely be an opportunity for ConfuseGamer to disrupt that process with some earlier lings. Yes, this pool is going to finish up first, but Un is behind in workers and therefore really is going to need to use all of the larvae, use all of his money on building workers, and it's going to be a while before really he can afford units. Okay, with all that said, let's see how the game develops. So this map we've seen a few times before, hopefully everybody pretty familiar with it. Has got the expand out the back, has got this third that's reasonably easily defended as well, and a fairly comfortable fourth. So you can go up to 4 bases pretty quickly on this map. After that starts to get trickier. This one up here would tend to be the 5th rather than the one in the back here. These gold may look tempting, but it's so hard to defend this when your opponent can simply camp an army here and send in a force to take this out. Also, the gap between here and here by air is brutally small, so if your opponent has mutas or some other air unit, it can just hop between your men, or for example Terrans with drops can hop between the men and that expand. So we tend to expo up there for the 5th, but I'm not sure this game will get that far. Let's wait and see. Un now building some lings. Do we have any units up for ConfuseGamer? We don't, so a couple of errors made by both players. Un going for the economic build, but not really building workers. ConfuseGamer going for the early pull build, but not then building any lings from it. So interesting play. We have got this extractor that's been built for some time. No gas mined from it as yet. Un has mined a fair bit of gas. Has he spent? So he has. Metabolic boost coming in for Un. I do not see that upgrade here, and it will be a while because no gas out yet. Oh, was he mining from this one the whole time when I wasn't looking? No, he wasn't. Okay, let's have a quick peek at the income tab. We can see still a substantial advantage for ConfuseGamer, and you're probably going to be able to keep that advantage at this stage with this third sort of on its way. Still not, saturating these bases with only 8 workers there, with only 10 here. You really need to get those up to 16. This fourth coming down, but without the workers, these extra hatcheries, you're just not going to feel the benefit of those. Queen in production, so already a queen there, a queen on its way down to that one, a queen with this one, so that's good to see. Well supported with queens, but don't forget to use them. This V lets you I don't know what V stands for. Vomit, maybe. The queens kind of spit on the hatcheries and cause the hatcheries to sort of squirt out extra larvae. Really important to be doing that on a cycle. And I know players that have even gone so far as to have like StarCraft timers to remind them to spit their queens every 40 seconds, 20 seconds. I can't even remember. Every now and again. Okay, this is actually quite a substantial number of lings, and they have got speed. Let's have a look at the army supply in favour of Un. But where are the lings for ConfuseGamer? Surely there's got to be more than that, doesn't there? There are. There they are. They are going to have a very, very rough time without the speed upgrade against these fastlings in superior numbers as well. So a potential win in the offing here for Un if he just clicks across the map. His lings will see these ones off very, very rapidly, and could they just march across the map and face nothing but workers. This will be pretty brutal for the Blue Zerg. This is not gonna be nice. So if we look at the losses, yeah, that's what happens. Pressure advantage Un would be my top tip. You have an advantage. Even still, with this supply difference, the speed upgrade more than compensates for that. You have got 4 bases. You are mining. You've got a lot of money as well. So you've got enough larvae to just literally crank out those lings and send your new lings together with these 2 tabs that you already have across the map for a win. If you give ConfuseGamer time, he is going to catch up pretty quickly, I feel. ConfuseGamer stacking money. I fear still with no speed upgrade, this engagement is not great for him, but I think he's still going to win it. The speed upgrade is still going to come through. And that units lost tab is going to start looking pretty nasty, isn't it? So finally, by sheer weight of numbers, ConfuseGamer manages to see off those lings, but these queens and spine crawlers they're going to do the work for the rest of this stuff. So they have 85 units lost versus 44, both players with pools and pools of cash, but ConfuseGamer is not taking his foot off the pedal, continuing to build lings, 16 lings in production, a lot already out on the map. Army supply heavily in favour of ConfuseGamer again. Has he got the speed upgrade yet? Did he do that? Yes, he has. So this time it could be a very different story. These queens are good, but you do need to use that transfuse function to maximize their benefit. Let's see what happens here. I think this is starting to look a bit scary for Un, and he may have to sack this base and fall back to the more defensible third. Even then, since he isn't already dropping spine crawlers, I don't think he is going to survive this. Look, 18 more lings in production for ConfuseGamer. He is pressing the advantage. Only drones, not drones. You don't need drones at this point. You've got 4 grand in the bank. Don't build drones. You need stuff. You're going to die if you don't have the stuff. A good thing to do with these queens is to park them side by side on this ramp, because the 2 queens will block the ramp completely and the lings won't be able to get past. And with transfuses you can keep those 2 queens alive for a long time, because lings generally win by surrounding stuff completely. So 2 queens on the ramp cannot get fully surrounded, but I fear this might be the GG. So Not the most efficient trades for ConfuseGamer, but just continue to do the important stuff. Look, still 16 Zerglings are currently in production, and that's the way to do it. You know, don't forget to build stuff. Just constantly be building stuff. These 8 lings for Moon are just going to be too little too late. That is, look, that's a lot of lings, isn't it? Yeah, that is many lings. 80 lings or something ridiculous like that is on the map there. Yes. So I fear this is the end. And I think we're about to see the GG, or maybe not. Yeah, these lings are now unstoppable. Un has got a lot of money, but he, you know, with only 2 hatches, no longer has the production to be able to match that output from ConfuseGamer. So, yeah, an interesting game. Neither player ever having a tech structure beyond the spawning pool. Both players opening reasonably economically and just going for masses of lings. That used to be something that was very common in ZVZ, just loads and loads of lings, and then it kind of went out of fashion. That is a lot of lings. That's kind of, it's hurting my eyes. Yeah, that's too many lings, man. I don't even want to look at that. How so many? I'll tell you how so many. He was building stuff constantly with the building stuff. Both players, however, at this stage, at the end game, with substantial funds in the bank. So, you know, hopefully that's given you some indication of how much stuff it is possible to build. Even with his finger on the ling button, ConfuseGamer still manages to accumulate so much money that he easily could have been dropping tech structures at the same time. So at home here, whilst applying that pressure, he could have had a Roach Warrant, a Hydra Den, maybe a Spire, upgraded this to a Lair, you know, a couple of Evo chambers clunking through upgrades. You know, so you can put that ling pressure on, you can lose all of those lings as long as you've done a little bit of economic hurt, and then fall back on the fact that you're just going to hold down the T button and crank out something like 30 Mutalisks, which your opponent is going to be completely incapable of defending if they're geared up to defend lings. The defense to this, of course, is Benlings, because that many lings with sloppy micro, or if the other player isn't paying attention, can die to literally about 5 Benlings. Benlings just annihilate lings so very quickly. So if you are a Zerg player and you find yourself some overlords making their way across the map as well, just to mock the other player, I guess. If you are a Zerg player and you find yourself up against this mass ling style, it is a Benling nest that you need to get done. You need to think about the placement of your structures as well, put them down in positions to block the Zerglings so that they cannot fully surround important things, and that's the way to defeat that. Once Benlings are out, if you are the aggressive player with the Zerglings, don't try and attack into Benlings unless you're pretty confident your micro is good. The way to do it is to peel off single lings to attack individual Benlings, and just keep running back until those Benlings are worn down. But it's a micro-intensive task. Yes. Anyway, GG. I'm expecting a game invite. Who's online? Anybody? Guys? But it hasn't happened yet, so I think I'm just going to crank straight into game 2.